Well, this is it, Galveston. Last of the boxes. Oh.
You better not touch any of my stuff.
Well, I think it's about time we watch a new movie. What do you think, Galveston?
Look, I'd love to, human, but I'm busy this weekend. Yeah, I'm gluing my eyes shut. Smooth.
Oh, come on, Galveston. Think about it. Me and you, best friends, sitting down together to watch a horror movie. I mean, what could be better than that? Maybe with a cup of tea and some hobnobs. What do you say?
Oh, sounds awful. Look, I'm busy.
Come on, Galveston. I know. I'll let you introduce the new feature.
What new feature?
Yeah, you know, the Jack Horrorhound's bingo list. Oh, come on, if you watch this movie, I'll even help you find that book you've been looking for. What do you say?
Deal, human. Yeah.
Well, great. Okay, well, you better run off and go set it up then.
What?
Off you go.
When did I become a slave anyway? Right, okay. I regret this already. Anyway, here we go. There we are. Right, so here we go. Number 1, a creepy atmosphere. Number 2, bad acting. Imagine that. Number 3, jump scares. Nothing like a good jump scare. And number 4, a crappy special effect.
Look who's talking.
That's enough out of you. Number 5, running through the woods. And number 6, the wild card, my personal favourite, an exploding head. Right, now that's over.
Nice job, Galveston. Good work. Okay, well, without further ado, I think it's time for us to sit down and enjoy Spider Baby.
Who are you talking to?
Shh. Oh, Galveston, throw the switch.
Oh, what?
Throw the switch. Oh. Enjoy.
Right, here we go. Movie time.
Brains and bones and bats and bones.
Okay, Galveston, well, it's as good a place to start as any. So did you know that Lon Chaney Jr. himself sang the opening song to this movie?
Look, human, I'm a 5th level demon, okay? Of course I knew that.
Okay, I feel like you would never know, you know, that this film was once called Cannibal Orgy.
Now that's a catchy title.
It's just, I don't know about you, Galveston, but I've always felt like this film suffers from tone issues.
Yeah, all this stuff, it reminds me of the Little Shop of Horrors. You know, the black and white one?
Well, it's interesting you should say that, Galveston. Jack Hill, the first-time director of this movie, worked under Roger Corman for years before he made this flick.
Oh, I tell you, that Corman.
Yeah, right.
Damn you, Corman!
So, coming to the beginning of the movie, it looks like we've walked right into a scene from Easy Rider.
Ha, yeah. Ha.
So, Gal, can I ask you something?
Huh? What?
Do you know who this guy is?
No. A human's a human to me.
Well, that's oddly a refreshing attitude to have, Galveston. No, but he's an old comedy actor from the 1930s called Martin Morgan. He was kind of famous for doing his comedic scared act when he found himself in situations just like this.
Oh, aren't you full of facts?
Anybody home? Anybody home?
You know what? I've got to say this. That guy is dedicated to delivering that mail.
Yeah, through rain, sleet and snow, this guy is dedicated to be murdered.
Maybe consider leaving? And here she is herself, the titular Spider Baby. So this is Virginia, one of the 3 crazy adult babies in the house, played by actress Jill Banner. who was only 22 years old at the time. 22 years old and playing her first role as a psychopathic serial killing spider woman. Not too shabby.
Oh yeah, she's my kind of woman. Except I'd actually prefer it if she had 8 legs. You know, like a real spider.
And you know, it's got to be said that this man knows how to take being slashed in the face repeatedly very well.
Yeah, that's not even what they sound like at all.
Wait, how do you know that?
Oh look.
Virginia, are you crazy? Now look what you've done. You're bad. Bad.
Oh hey, and right on cue, here's the second sibling. This is Elizabeth, played by actress Beverly Washburn, casually standing there watching her sister finish her meal. You know, as you do.
What, you don't?
No.
Ralph, we're home now.
Oh, and hey, look who it is, Galveston. Yeah, that's right. It's classic horror icon Lon Chaney Jr. playing Bruno the butler, bringing the third sibling home from the mental institute. Yeah, that's right. It's Ralph, the brother, otherwise known as Captain Spaulding, otherwise known as the legendary actor Sid Haig.
Look at that performance. That's got to be the first tick on the list for bad acting.
What? Sid Haig being a bad actor? No way! This is a great performance. This is one of the highlights of his career.
That's 1 point for me, human.
Well, you know.
What other people?
They want to become your legal guardians.
Outsider relatives are coming to this house to see 3 adult babies and their butler. What wacky hijinks will ensue? Tune in this week to the new episode of The Addams Family.
Oh, stop doing that.
I thought that was pretty good. I don't know.
Today's the 14th.
Needless to say, it's time for Elizabeth, Virginia and Ralph and Bruno to get their skates on and get the evidence hid. So hiding the dead body, getting rid of all the blood, and definitely hiding any other incriminating evidence that might point to them being crazy. Because they're certainly not going to show that for themselves over the next 45 minutes anyway.
Oh, come on, ye of little faith. I'm sure everything's going to be fine.
Please treat the children tactfully. You see, they're not accustomed to strangers, and they might act wild if encouraged.
Because here comes Aunt Emily, Uncle Peter, and their lawyer's assistant.
Yeah, this really is a plot out of the Addams Family, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is more of a psychopathic, incestuous, cannibalistic version. Galveston, do you remember when I said that The Old Dark House was probably one of the strangest dinner sequences ever put to film? Yeah, well, it's got nothing on this movie. Oh, I just love seeing Lon Chaney Jr. so happy with the meal that he's prepared for everyone. And it looks pretty good considering that roast is definitely the local cat that Ralph caught earlier. Just saying.
Well, cat's a delicacy where I come from.
Galveston, this show's going out on the internet. You can't say things like that about cats.
What? Why?
I've got to say, I love how casual the uncle is about all these events that are going off, and he just goes with it. There's something very suspicious about this man I don't trust.
No, it's always the quiet ones, isn't it?
Yeah, see, that's what I think. Imagine if you were part of a family where you had a disease that made you sort of a degenerative baby slob.
What, you haven't got that?
Oh, thanks. Thanks very much.
Perhaps you'd like to try some of our fresh garden greens?
Yeah, Emily. Here, try the salad.
God, I just can't get over how happy Lon Chaney Jr. is. I just want to give him a cuddle.
It's weird, because I just want to eat his soul.
Oh, Galveston, you nut. So, after dinner, it's decided that the lawyer and the auntie are going to stay for the night. Why would you do that? And that the uncle, along with the lawyer's assistant, is going to go and spend the night in a hotel.
I bet they are.
Oh, come on, Galveston, please.
Good night, kids. Well, Miss Morris, we should be getting an early start.
I like that very much, Mr. Howe.
You know what? I wish for the day that I could be in a creepy old house and feel the need to bar the door with a chair.
Some people are just so untrusting.
But to be fair to her, I don't think I'd feel comfortable staying in a house with those people.
Those people, eh? Oh, that's a bit judgmental, isn't it?
Jump scare! Another tick! And as the sleazy lawyer decides to creep round the house trying to find the hidden jewels, this is the right time for the auntie to strip naked. And it's got to be said, the actress Carol Omar is pretty stunning.
You really are a pervert, aren't you?
No, I'm just saying, she's a very beautiful woman.
Gosh, but she's only got one head.
It takes all sorts. Well, as a family lawyer, I think it's time for me to nosy around the house in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I mean, what does he think he's actually going to find? I mean, he's one of the lesser characters. He surely knows he's going to die.
Yeah, but where would the fun in that be? Where is this madness going to? Where is it going to end? I tell you where it ends. In a creepy basement.
Creepy basement? Hold on, that's a tick on the thing.
That is a tick on the thing, Galveston, you're right. We now cut back to Ralph doing one of the best Spider-Man impressions ever.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
You know, I really hope Sony don't sue us.
Yeah, or Marvel.
Yeah.
But he's basically like a pervert Spider-Man, isn't he?
Yeah, but can you blame him?
Gross. You need help, man.
I know. Nothing good can come from going down into that basement. This guy's an idiot.
Well, how else is he going to get his comeuppance?
No, this is true. Oh, hey, and there we have our first appearance of the zombies in the cellar.
So they're the aunt and uncle of Virginia and Elizabeth, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what else are you going to do with your ailing troglodyte relatives?
Well, keep them in the cellar.
Yeah, that's it. You keep them in the cellar. I think it's safe to say that Bruno's advice falls on deaf ears, as Virginia and Elizabeth are at the top of the stairs, waiting to pounce on their prey.
Criminal laws,
Oh, poor Mr. Schlocker, we knew thee well.
Ah, well, you know, he's a lawyer, isn't he? So I think a lot of people would probably want to do this to their lawyers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's got to be said as well, that shot with the two women standing at the top of the stairs in silhouette looking down on the victim is pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, high praise, Galveston. Poor Bruno, having to come home, finding the lawyer stuffed in a garbage chute. That is not what you want to see when you come home from...
Well, this is kids for you, isn't it? They just don't listen.
On a more serious note, though, this scene with Lon Chaney Jr. and the two actresses is truly heart-wrenching. I mean, you see the emotion on Bruno's face as he's trying to talk to these girls and knowing that there's nothing really he can do about it, that there's really no more options left. The girls can't stop killing, and he's going to have to kind of do something in order to keep them safe. Realising that, in fact, it's kind of futile and that there's only one real answer. It's truly heartbreaking.
Oh, this is getting a bit serious, isn't it?
It's great, though. God bless you, Lon Chaney. Bless you.
Yeah, it just makes you want to reach into the telly and give him a cuddle, doesn't it?
Wow, Galveston, that's like really compassionate for you.
I'm joking.
Oh, well, I would. Not to mention two stellar performances from Jill Banner playing Virginia and Beverly Washburn playing Elizabeth. Brilliant stuff. And it's like the director Jack Hill always says, this film is about unconditional love.
Ugh, okay, next scene, let's go.
With that heart-wrenching scene all done with, it's now time to cut back to Aunt Emily being chased in the woods by Ralph, which is horrific when you think about it.
Not as horrific as when Ralph finally catches up with her.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I don't really know what's happening here, and I don't want to know.
I do.
Gross. So, moving on. We now see that Uncle Peter and the lawyer's secretary are on their way back to the house. So it's all going to come to a head soon.
You're really a wolf fan, and...
Oh boy, talk about soul references, huh?
I know, right?
Like a wild beast.
As Bruno has left the house, ready to enact his final plan. As the film nears its climax, it really goes off the rails, and the movie loses its mind.
Well, after all, it was the 60s.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What?
Dressed like that?
Well, it's like the director Jack Hill always said, it was the 60s after all. You dig? Well, I was just trying, with... fun sometimes, you know that?
Whatever.
Anyway, now cutting back to, the three adult babies of the house are running loose, giving in to their psychopathic urges. This stuff's spreading.
Yeah, it must be catching.
How is this all going to end, Galveston?
Probably in tears.
Yeah, I think you're right, Let's watch.
Now the spider does a little dance. Just to tease him, torment him, and make him work.
It's got to be said, I really love how patient Uncle Peter is with this situation. Basically, his niece has tied him up, and she's acting quite flirtatious with him, which again is, you know, incest.
Man, you weren't kidding about this film.
I know, right? Meanwhile, Ralph's got Anne all tied up downstairs in the basement, probably going to feed her to the troglodyte zombie relatives.
What are we going to do with her? Don't you know you made this plan?
When Bruno comes back to the house with his final solution.
Jack, you can't say final solution like that.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, he's got a bomb. He's got a bomb and he's going to blow them up. By the time Bruno makes it back, it's all kicking off. You've got Anne in the basement with her clothes off and her in her underwear. You've got Aunt Emily shows back up screaming like a madwoman, also in her underwear. Then she gets eaten alive by the cannibal troglodyte zombie relatives that are in the basement. For then Bruno to show up with his explosives, ready to blow the house sky high and show the girls a big flashing surprise, as he calls it. As Uncle Peter then gets loose, comes downstairs, rescues Anne, gets her out of the house just in time for Elizabeth, Virginia, Ralph and poor Bruno to blow themselves sky high. I mean, what a finale.
Well, it's certainly built up to a crescendo for an ending, I'll say that much for it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I love that little shrug that Lon Chaney does just before he lights the fuse.
Yeah, talk about going out with a bang.
Quite an amazing experience.
And as all good horror movies do, it ends on a happy note, with Uncle Peter regaling the whole story in his new comfortable home, as he explains very clearly that he inherits all the family fortune and that his side of the family doesn't suffer from the same disease, until we cut to one of the great stinger endings in all horror movies, where his daughter's in the garden staring at a spiderweb maliciously with a strange look on her face.
Da, da, da. There should have been a head explosion as far as I'm concerned.
Well, there you go, that was Spider Baby. What did you think, Galveston?
Rubbish!
Brilliant. So, without further ado, let's check the scores. So, it didn't quite make the list, therefore it doesn't go into the official bin of shame.
The official what of what? Huh?
Yeah, check it out, it's over here. So it is, as the bin of shame, looks nice. But that's good news, Spider Baby is saved, hooray!
Right, I watched the movie, so now you have to help me find my book.
Oh, alright, yes, okay, I'll look for this book. Okay, where did you see it last?
In the seventh circle of the Trevulian Demodai. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't really know that place very well. But I tell you what, I think there's some boxes over here that have not been unpacked yet, and if you want to check, there's a couple downstairs. Yeah? Great. I'll see you next week, folks. This is fantastic.
I'm never going to be able to find the book with him around.